back in and done a little bit more work on the body, and it's yeah, I'm having a little bit of a fight with myself because I can see some fun things start to happen where some of the brighter colors are going to be, and I'm really having to fight with myself a little bit not to go there too quickly. This piece is turning out to be a little bit like water lily, where painting with your fingers is um, kind of it works really well. It's effective, except just then when I was demonstrating it, get a little bit outside of the line of what I want. So I'm just grabbing a clean brush, put some extender medium on it, and just fixing that little touch that I did. Um, so what was I saying? That it's a little bit rough here still. I'll do a little bit more with the colors here, but I do like a little bit of that texture, sort of a little bit of a gill feel, and the camera's not picking it up quite as well as I wish it would. Um, anyway, I just want to, let some of those things happen. Don't don't fix everything right away. Um, he looks a little grumpy, and I think that fish just in general do look a little grumpy. Like, he's got this little frown on his face. Um, so, I'll soften it a little bit as we go forward, but that's something that I'm watching. The other thing that I wanted to mention when I talked about the finger painting is it's really helpful, and this has already started to tack up a little bit where I did this before. You can kind of see how wrong the color is. Let me see if I can fix the color. My hands look, oh, the lighting and the colors, and hang on, let me try to fix it. Okay, hopefully that is kind of close. I have a light right up here, which helps me. So it's a balancing act for making it so that you can see it and making it so I can see it. What else did I want to say? I was talking about his grumpy face, so I'll be softening that a little bit, but some of those initial lines again just help me to stay on track. Um, I did a little bit of work down here, so some grays and some brighter whites, not bright white, not completely white, but it's kind of a small little area, but still trying to build up some of that. I think I'm going to let the body stay. One thing I did want to mention about the body, I'm seeing in my reference photo, and I'm using a combination of photos that I've gotten online and also my own Procreate reference that I've kind of been working with. But there's some blues, kind of blue oranges that are happening back here. And I kind of like that little hint, even a little bit along his belly right here. So I'm seeing those and thinking about, keeping them. The same here, there's a little bit of a blue undertone, and we'll have some scales that come over this, but I want to make sure that I have that undertone there. I can't remember if I mentioned it before, so I'm going to mention it again. As I've been doing the finger painting through here, rubbing back and forth both directions. So when you take your finger between two sections that you want to pull together, and on that fast forward, you'll probably saw me doing it here. But when you rub both directions back and forth along the paint, then you bring some of the dark into the light and some of the light into the dark. And it's a really good way. A lot of times it's easy to kind of think, you know, rub, rub, rub. But if you'll rub both directions, that will really help you. And you'll begin to have a feel for the paint under your finger. So as you start to do those blends, if you can't feel it sliding, then you need a little bit more paint and then try again. Okay, I think that sets us up pretty well. I'm going to do a little bit of color, beginning to add some color to the fins. Um, and I talk about this all the time, but I'm going to sneak up on it a little bit. I've never painted a fish, a goldfish. I've painted a largemouth bass, but even so, every time we sit down to the easel, it's the situation is a little bit different, and so I'm not exactly sure how I want this to look. So if I make, incremental movements, incremental little steps, and then take the piece upstairs, spend a little bit of time with it, see what I think is working, then I'll have just a much better result than if I just dove in and, made lots of changes all at once. Hopefully that made sense. I don't feel like I explained that very well. I guess I'm just saying move a little bit slow. Do a little bit, see what's working, and then whatever's working, come back and do a little bit more of that. Whatever's not working, shift. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of work on the fins, and then we'll try to figure out what our next step is.